This is Ms. Ring going over Math 5, quiz number 2, taken September 25th, 2019. Directions show all your work in the space provided and box your answers. Question number 1, questions 1 to 4. Identify and circle each as linear, quadratic, exponential, or neither. Question number 1 is, although it has a linear and then there's another linear here, there's two linears and they call this an absolute value function. You think of the v as an absolute value sign. It is neither, it's not linear. And you can prove that by, if you wanted to, use a table of values. Question number 2, if I distribute the 5, you get 5x minus 5 plus 4. Y equals 5x minus 1, and notice the x and y to the first power, that would be linear. Question number 3, I'm noticing that I have to add values, so add 3, add 5, add 7, add 9. This is not a first common difference. First common difference would be linear, so it's not linear because they are not the same number. If you add on the second set of numbers, you have a second common difference, and that was quadratic. So quadratic is your answer. Make sure you're having a plus 1 there. If you're missing a number, then just fill it in so you can figure out the output. Question number 4. Brooklyn heard a rumor. She tells the rumor to 2 people the next day. The 2 people that she told then tell 2 more people the following day, who each then go on to tell 2 more new people the rumor the following day. The relationship between the days that have passed and the number of new people to hear the rumor that day. So day 0, Brooklyn knows the rumor. It's 1 person. She tells 2 people, and after the first day, that means all 3 of them now know the secret, so a total of 3 people. And then these 2 people, not each of them, but just total, like maybe they're just like best friends, they stay together, they go on and tell 2 new people. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people know that after the second day. So you'll notice that you have a first common difference that is linear. Question number 5. The school water polo team holds a car wash to earn money for an upcoming trip. The table lists the number of hours that the car wash runs and the amount of money earned during the car wash. Complete the table. So the first thing you're going to notice that on the time, the independent, the x values, they're counting by 1s. And so I put a 3 there. From 16 to 18, realize that you're counting 2, so 20 and 22, or if you're counting backwards, you're subtracting 2. So 20, 18, 16, 14, and then 12. B, graph it. So this is your x and this is your y, so 0, 12. And then 1, 14, 2, 16, 3, 18, right 3 hours, and then up 18. And then 4, and then 5, 22. So I graphed it. Write an expression. Well, we know that this is a first common difference, therefore it is linear. Linear has the formula y equals mx plus b, where your first common difference is your slope. And the y-intercept, so if you don't have the y-intercept, you can just work backwards, 0, 12. 12 is our starting point, right? So then you can say 1 hour. If you put in 1 hour, 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 12 is 14, or if you put in 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 plus 12 is 16. So you can put any amount of hours into this expression and you should get something. So the expression was out of 2 points as well. Question number 6. Draw design 5. They're meant to have some shaded squares, but it didn't show up, so we'll just go with it. Here I have 6, so design 1 has 6. And I count these, you got 6 plus 4 gives us, I'm going to shade that in, that's my original. 6 plus 4 is 10, and then the next one, here's my original. That has a 6, 6 and 2, so that's 14, so I notice that I keep adding 4s. So draw it, so if I do the original, and if I go to the 5th one, I get 18, and then add 4, I should have 22. So there's 22 boxes. 6, 12, 18, 20, 22. And then I completed the table, and then it is linear. Why is it linear? So I circled it. It's linear because of the first common difference there in yellow. And then same thing from above. Write an algebraic expression to represent the total number of squares in design n, y equals mx plus b. And then yellow is our common difference of 4. And then our y-intercept of 2 goes there. So y equals 4x plus 12 plus 2. And then it says in 6e, let me zoom out. How many squares are in design 8? So design 8 is like x equals 8. So you can put an 8 here. 4 times 8 is 32, and 32 plus 2 is 34. So design 8 will have 34 squares. Use your algebraic expression to determine the total number of squares in design 51. So design number is the x value. Put in 51 into x. So 4 times 51 gives you 204. 204 plus 2 gives you 206. Design 51 will have 206 squares. Still count our points. So 2 points, 1 point for a nice name and period. This one here, up here was worth 4. And then this one was worth 6. 1, 1, 2. And then 2, and then 2, and 2. So 4, 8, 10, 16, 20. This should have been 22 points. Let's turn to the back side. Now on the back side, we have multiple choice. Use the given information to determine the most efficient form used to write the function. So I told you guys you can use this graph. So it says a y-intercept of 0, 3. So the x values on the x-axis is 0. You don't go anywhere. Stay. And then y value is going up 3. Then it says has a line of symmetry at y at negative 3/8. So the symmetry, negative values on the x, you can think of it as x equals negative 3/8. And I'm drawing this yellow dotted line to show where the parabola folds up or down. Now it's possible that it opens up, or it could go down like this. But the big idea is this 3 here. This 3 is the y-intercept, which I highlight in green, is, if you look at your foldable standard form. Question number 8. It's from our packet. Analyze each given graph. So here's the graph they've given me. I notice that it opens up, so I know my a value should be positive, and then the x-intercepts right there are also positive. Our p and q values are positive. They give me a function here, and I notice that it has 2 sets of parentheses, so it's intercept form. Intercept form has an equation a times x minus p, x minus q. I notice there's a plus sign, so I'm going to change it to a minus minus, and a positive here goes minus minus. So y equals 1 times x, parentheses, x minus negative 1, close parentheses open, x minus negative 3. And so I highlighted the subtraction sign that's in the formula, and then your p value there is a negative 1, and your q value is a negative 3. So we have x-intercepts on the negatives side. That's why I give you this graph so you can compare our graph with theirs. We know a value is 1 because there's no number there, so therefore it's positive. Positive people smile. So does that match? The answer is no. Why? Describe the reasoning you use to either eliminate or choose your function. Our graph does not match the parent function because the x-intercepts on the given graph are positive, and the function 8 of x has a negative x-intercepts. So that's the answer for number 8. Number 9, match the following by putting 1 letter per blank. If I look at these, Vertex has 1 parentheses, and the one that has that is C, 1 set of parentheses. Now, although you do think 2, you could expand that, but just initially when you look at it, this is Vertex form. Also, you know it's Vertex form because it has the power of 2. Intercept or factor form has 2 sets of parentheses. Right here, that's A. And then here, standard form has no parentheses, that's choice B, so CAB. Question number 10. Multiple choice, circle the function that matches each graph. So I notice the graph is opening up, so it's got to be a positive. So I chose B and C because they're positive. Drink some water there, sorry. And I kept, eliminated those that are negative and my X's and checks that they are positive. Now my P and my key values are on the negatives. So how do you get a p-value that's negative and a key-value that's negative? Well, if you open up your folder, you'll recognize that it does say P and Q are opposite of what you see. So opposite of 2 is negative 2. Opposite of positive 5 is negative 5. Therefore, the answer is B. And you can also work backwards. Let me show you how to work backwards. They're all in intercept form. Its A value doesn't matter, it could be 1 or 3 because it's positive. See if I can make this super bold. My P value is a negative 2. And my key value is a negative 5. So the opposite of negative 2 would give us a x plus 2 and an x plus 5. So that would again be choice something like B. And question number 11. Determine whether the two expressions are equivalent. Circle the 1. 3 times quantity x minus 4 squared plus 2 and 3x squared minus 24x plus 50. Well, here in pink, this is right there, vertex form. And to expand vertex form to be standard form, we need to get rid of these parentheses. Remember, do not distribute the 2 there. That would only be a law of exponents, and that only works with factors, but you have a subtraction sign, so you can't do that. Then you have x minus 4 is written twice, and then here you can use FOIL or the box, which I did over here. X squared, negative 4x, negative 4x, positive 16, and then combine like terms. They're in pink. And remember here, I wrote down order of operations to help you simplify. So we're doing the parentheses and exponents, which we just did in pink. And then now we're going to do multiplication and division. So 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times negative 8x is negative 24x. And 3 times 16 is 48. Don't forget to drop down that 2. And these two are like terms. So you get 50. 3x squared minus 24x plus 50. Are those the same? They are the same. And I drew this simple graph over here to show you that if you actually graphed these separately in vertex form and standard form, you'll notice that they'll have a graph that's exactly the same. Okay, so explain your reasoning. So yes, they are equivalent. Yes, after simplifying the left side by writing 2 sets of parentheses, multiplying and adding, the 2 expressions are equivalent or the same. 2 points for multiple choice. So 2. This one was worth 4, so I wrote 4 over here. 2 for this one. For the matching one, I chose to do 2 points apiece, so that's 6. So I got 8, 10, 14, and then, can I not count? 8, 10, 14, 18 points. And then that's like that 18. So your test should be out of 22 plus 18 is 40 is your total. Good luck.
Math.
Say it again.
Our math.